Man, oh my goodness. Really, 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 really satisfying win. From the top to the bottom, we were essentially pretty much stomping the Lakers. So first quarter, the first half, it was somewhat competitive. The Clippers just got the upper hand. Marcus Morris was making his shots. Reggie Jackson was being a bucket and being a pretty good facilitator. Got his hustle in the first half. Um, Pretty much everybody did pretty good all around. Zubac, he had a really good fire start. He was making his hook shot. He was kind of cooking Dwight Howard. He's basically dominating the Los Angeles Lakers in general. Like Zubac was just crunching on them. Then Hartenstein checked in like a little bit later, and he was just pouring on all the energy. He was dunking on them. Just boom, being tenacious and all that. Just bring that beautiful hustle. And then second half, um, we essentially got pretty. I mean, not second half, second quarter. I meant. We actually got very sloppy. That the Lakers was 63 and 66, but third quarter, like the Lakers, they would think, oh, they're gonna win. But my birthday week spell said no, 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 no. So my Clippers just pretty much dominated the Lakers. Just pretty much was just pouring and pouring, pouring. And but first, I forgot a little bit in the first half. Luke Kennard was swishing his buckets as well. He was doing his thing. But third quarter, oh yeah, that's when we bring the fire. All right, Rocco, he was hustling, getting the boards. Rocco also switched some back-to-back three in the first half as well too. Um, Reggie Jackson was just you couldn't stop him. You just couldn't stop him. He was just killing it. Nick Batum, he caught fire for a brief moment. He had 6 points. He didn't really had the biggest stat line, but he was like as us as real Clippers fans know what Nick Batum is capable of doing. He's pretty solid. Um, had some back-to-back swish. Looked like he was about to have a breakout, but that's pretty much all he scored. But it was really great. Um, then essentially, just everybody did their thing. We were clamping up. Terrence Mann was just, ooh, he was really gritting in, man. He was clamping up, getting the boards, just doing everything. Again. Harnstein again. Oof. He was just literally getting autumn dunks. Literally just playing good all around essentially. And Zubac. Zubac cannot really be contained. Um, LeBron and Westbrook, they really try to stat pad, so Frank Vogel decided to play both of them in the third, fourth quarter, despite the Lakers being down by 30 points, but they just wanted to get the extra. Vogel just wanted to get them the extra stats, so I guess get them the extra stats, I guess, because Russell Westbrook, again, but for some reason when he plays against the Clippers, he actually plays decent. He's not like a trash highlight reel. He's actually I mean, he's still not like he's still kind of like Russell Westbrook, but he was actually getting to the rack, making some layups and all that. But he was then, like I said, in the second half, he kind of slowed down and all that. Then, he padded his stats along with LeBron and all that. And then Mr. June activating fourth quarter. Oh, Reggie Jackson couldn't. Ooh, cannot be contained, bro. Homeboy shook Russell Westbrook, and then Reggie gave Westbrook a little pat, and then Westbrook got all mad. He got all mad because Reggie Jackson and Westbrook had beef in OKC, and Reggie, ooh, he was frying Westbrook real good, man. He was just killing it. And then the Clippers just got a really, really good win. karma for all the toxic Lakers fans who just want to start on all the instigate and all that. And it was just satisfying, man. It was just satisfying. Now, I'm going to just do my typical player to player, like how I would do. So, first of all, Marcus Morris, he was pretty good. Making the mid range. I know I'm gonna sound repetitive because I mean that's what just Marcus Morris just does. He's like your ideal power forward. He did made some fairly low IQ plays, like two or three. I believe he made some turnovers and all that, which is he definitely could definitely like prevent that to going down the line. I know it's kind of rare to see Muck have a pretty iffy low IQ moment, but nevertheless, he's a great player for us. He was switching it down from the 3-point line. Um, yeah, like I said, just does his typical nice post fadeaways that is really tough to guard. Like really tough to guard. I mean, hey, he's so good that he he and Reggie Jackson has a better record than LeBron and AD and Russell Westbrook. So Russell Westbrook. So yeah, so pretty nice for Marcus Morris. I believe it's like 17, 18 points. I forgot, but he did pretty good. Terrence Mann, he did Terrence Mann things essentially, but I'll try to be creative as possible. He was really gritty. He was playing with nice, really good intensity. I don't know if he got some blocks, but for some reason I kind of forgot, but my instinct said he got some really nice blocks. He definitely got a lot of reboundings. Um, like I said, defense from Terrence Mann was just amazing. It was just flat out amazing. And then Big Zoo. We were wondering if Big Zoo could definitely go off against like a better team or something like that, but Zubac, he showed it, man. He showed it. Like from the start, he was making nice hook shots on Dwight Howard, and then the Lakers, for some weird, funny reason, they chose to go small ball, and then Zubac and Harnstein, who I'll get to later, but Zubac especially he was frying it. He was frying it. He was frying it. Ooh, he was a force in the paint. He really was. He was gobble, gobble, gobble. And Zubac, his defense on the other side was just pretty good, too. Like, his rim protection was amazing. Like I don't know who, honestly, is the most improved Clipper, in my opinion, because a lot of players are taking a really big elevation. Who, and I'll try to get on that later on, but Zubac, like he was playing great both sides of the end, especially on defense because remember, like just 2 months ago, Zubac like had a pretty harder time to guard outside and all that, and he would kind of get exposed and all that. But now Zubac defense is getting dramatically better. I mean, dramatically better, especially his rim protection was really good because players had kind of like have a fairly hard time scoring on Zubac when he was going into paint. So, big, fat shout out to Ivica Zubac. Like, if Zubac can shoot threes, it will be pretty scary for other teams to face because if Zubac honestly gets three pointers and, plays pretty good defense and, dominates how he usually does, I think he legit could be like top 5 center in the league at least because that's just amazing. Like, that's one thing I would love Zubac to try to do down the line is just try to develop a beautiful 3-point shot because his free throw is really good, and that's a big plus because when people foul Zubac could just hit them free throws. And oh my goodness, the man, the myth, the legend, the GOAT, action, Mr. June, Big Government Jackson. He was just really tough to stop. He dropped 36 essentially almost 40. He got 9 assists, 8 rebounds. He was contributing and everything else. Like before, people would just see Reggie as a scorer. But now Reggie is spreading his wings. Like his playmaking dramatically improved. He didn't really turn the ball over this much this time. His rebounding was just amazing. He took advantage of his 7-foot wingspan length, and he was just getting all buckets. Like throughout all certain times, Stanley Johnson cannot do anything to Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson was just splashing all the threes. He was getting to the rack and just, ooh, it was just nice, good jelly. It was just a beautiful jello. And man, it was nothing but buckets. Nothing but buckets. And then, I know I said it earlier, but I just gonna say it again. Reggie just shook Russell Westbrook. And Russell Westbrook, he did not, like it. Reggie was just, big shots of Reggie, man. Just big, fat shots of him because Reggie Jackson is just, yeah, he's like literally, like one thing I love about Reggie Jackson. I know a lot of people criticize Reggie Jackson in the past about, including me. I'll take my fat L on that because literally in the Mavs series, like I was wondering what the heck Reggie Jackson's playing mid because his defense was just kind of questionable during back then. But I'm glad he definitely proved me wrong real good. Like I was wondering, hey, how come Terrence Mann's not getting minutes and how come Reggie Jackson's getting all the minutes? But Ty Lue found a way to play both of them together. And now Reggie Jackson is a certified fan favorite for every single Clipper Nation. And I'm glad that Reggie Jackson is just showing himself what's up. And if anything, it taught me how to critique other players. Like now, like when a player does bad, I'm gonna try my best. Like instead of going out all brash, I'm gonna try to like do it in a more diplomatic type of manner. Because last year I was kind of like pretty brash, and I could definitely work on toning it down because they're humans in general, and not everyone's perfect. That's one thing I'll definitely try to work on doing throughout the future. So, but anyways, more on Reggie Jackson. He was just, I mean, what else could I say? He's definitely like a culture changer for the Clippers because, like, he's just a bucket. He's just a bucket. Like, honestly, I think now he's honestly like, I know, call me crazy, call me like a recency bias, but I think Reggie Jackson is a bigger culture changer than like Lou Will, honestly, because Reggie Jackson actually got the Clippers pretty far, and Reggie Jackson, like when it matters, he actually produces and just, he's more versatile, and nothing but respect. And shout out to Lou Will, nothing but love for him too. But Reggie, just nothing but love for this man. Now I'm gonna get to the bench. Isaiah Hartenstein, he was getting nice, ferocious dunks in general, and he was getting amazing blocks, getting boards, just typical Hartenstein stuff. Just being a really great backup big. He's like a better Montrezl Harrell. He's like a Montrezl Harrell with a Montrezl Harrell with size, a Montrezl Harrell with rim protection, a Montrezl Harrell with better defense, and but at the same time he has that Montrezl energy. But except for Hartenstein is better all around in what Montrezl is because Montrezl he was just all buckets and all that, but on the other side of the end he got some nice exciting blocks, but he was basically food for Nikola Jokic, but when Hartenstein versus Jokic, Hartenstein does decently eyed considering it's Jokic. And then you got Luke Kennard, who definitely did pretty good in the first half. He switched it real good. Second half, he didn't do too much, but it's all good. Like Luke Kennard could definitely try to work on trying to have a stronger hand because I guess someone got a stripped out of Luke Kennard. I forgot who it was, but it's all good because we all know what Luke Kennard can most definitely do. He could definitely strap it when it's definitely needed. But it all goes to big government today. And then you essentially got Rocco, who was a beast in the first half, a beast throughout the whole entire game. He hit some nice threes, and on the defensive end, he was amazing as well too. Just long, versatile, and his rebounding ability was just great. Like it was just great as well too. And then you have Amir Coffey, who also did pretty good too, like all around. Like took it. He had some nice, beautiful layups, like kind of like a coast to coast. He made some nice passes. He definitely got some good rebounds. He definitely hustled. He definitely had a lot of high IQ plays and all that. And Amir Coffey, he's another one that improved dramatically. Like literally, like I don't know who honestly should be like who's the most improved Clipper of the year in your like who do you think is the most improved Clipper of the year? Because I can name like honestly a lot. Like first it could be Ivica Zubac, who was back then like just like like he could definitely just take advantage in the pick and roll and all that, and his defense could be somewhat like I mean I'm not saying it's bad. Like he's always a solid rim protector, but people could take advantage of Zubac like more often than right now because Zubac now he's pretty good on defensive end for a big man. Like he even could somewhat guard outside, as shown against Luka Doncic like 3 weeks ago. Like Zubac definitely improved a lot on that. You got Marcus Morris, who was considered to be like really inconsistent and all that, but now he's like low key balling like a low key all star. I know he's not all star, but low key he could. It's somewhat like an all star material because he's averaging over 20 plus points, and just having some nice finesse. Luke Kennard back then, like I know a lot of people believe in Luke Kennard, but I believe in J Scrub a lot and all that. So I kind of like was just like I thought like otherwise, but Luke Kennard, like let's be real, he was more like a spot up shooter back then. Like he was like, but now he spread it out. Like he got more versatile and all that. So that could also be another most improved Clipper. And then who else could also be a most improved Clipper is definitely Amir Coffey because, oh boy, everybody was wondering why the heck Amir Coffey is playing over Brandon Boston Jr. and Jay Scrub. Well, mainly Brandon Boston Jr. And Amir, my goodness, he leaped. He took a really big leap. So there's a lot of people who could most definitely be a most improved Clipper. But anyways, let me go back to player on player review. Brandon Boston Jr. He got like brief minute times. He got a nice quick 5 points, just being a certified bucket. I thought he could have definitely played more minutes because I would love to see him. Like how I comment on Clip Gang or Don't Bang. Shout out to Clip Gang or Don't Bang. He's the GOAT. He's up and coming. But anyways, I commented on his channel that I would love Brandon Boston Jr. to play so he could put Austin Reeves. He can make Austin Reeves do a beautiful salsa dance. But unfortunately, he didn't get as much as minutes. But hey, we massacred the Lakers, so I'm just delighted. And then, yeah, it's just a really satisfying win against. We got a beautiful sweep. It was just a beautiful sweep against them toxic Lakers fans, man. They're just getting all that karma for all that, antagonization they did. Like, shout out to the Lakers fans who actually are genuine Lakers fans that just genuinely love the Lakers but don't hate on other teams, especially like who don't pick fight on the Clippers, because those are the pretty chill ones. Because like from my perspective, like there's two types of Lakers fans. Lakers fans who is just chill. They just like the Lakers, but they don't hate on other teams. They respect the Clippers and all that. They give props where it's due. Then you have the Lakers fans who makes up like most of their fan base, like 60. I say like 60% of it, because and then they're just pretty toxic. They're just pretty toxic, and then they just they just start stuff. They just start stuff. And sad thing is, like, I know a lot of my viewers, like a lot of Clippers fans, they just want to like say all those are just LeBron fans, but the brutal truth is Lakers fans, like, they're just inherently toxic. They're just inherently toxic. But what else got pretty much to say in general? Well, I mean, that's karma for, being just being a toxic fan base in general. And also karma for disrespecting the man Jerry West. Jerry West, yes, the Jerry West who built the Los Angeles Lakers to be where it is. Like, it's just satisfying. It's just satisfying. What's even crazier is, like, believe it or not, like, I don't even really hate LeBron like that. Although, of course, I would poke fun at LeBron because, he's on the Lakers. So, of course, I got to talk smack to rivals. But I don't even really hate LeBron like that, honestly. I just do not like the Lakers. I just flat out do not like the Lakers in general. But I don't really insanely hate LeBron like that. But, I got to poke fun at LeBron. But, of course, Kawhi is definitely miles ahead of LeBron any day, any second of existence. Like, Kawhi's just on a whole new level. I can't wait for Kawhi and Paul George to come back. But speaking of Kawhi and Paul George, looks like some rumors that they may come back soon. So if that happens, that would be beautiful. That would be beautiful. But like I said, this was a satisfying win because like it humbled a lot of them toxic Lakers fans. Like they literally like for the past, like years and all that, they just been wilding out and all that. They just being toxic. They were just like I could go on and on and on, honestly, but this is just karma. Like this really is just karma, and I'm not even trying to be cocky or trying to brag or anything. Like I'm just just sending the mess back to them. You know what I'm saying? Like taking the trash back. Like if that analogy makes sense. But again, this was a pretty. I know I'm gonna sound repetitive, but it'll be a little bit different this time. But yeah, this is a pretty satisfying win, especially the next like 2 days later on Saturday. It's gonna be my birthday. I'm gonna turn to a legal adult, and so if it'll be cool if y'all could wish me a happy birthday in the comment section and all that. But this was beautiful. This was really beautiful. Just really beautiful. But yep, so next we face against the Knicks one day after my birthday. I really wish we could have played on my birthday, but it's alright. More rest for the Clippers, so I cannot complain. But I apologize for a really long video, but there's just a lot of stuff I have to get off my chest. And just let me know what you think about this beautiful game in general. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all in the comment section. As y'all know, have a great night.